What's good, YouTube? It's your boy, Blue Blood Sports TV, back at y'all with another one. So, undefeated 3-division world champion, 2-division undisputed world champion, the reigning unified welterweight world champion, who is widely acknowledged and recognized as the #1 pound-for-pound best fighter in the world, in Terence Bud Crawford, who is 40 wins, no loss and no draw, 31 big wins by way of knockout, 36 years of age, 5'8" with a 74-inch arm reach. Terence Bud Crawford responds to what's next for Terence Bud Crawford. Terence Crawford, he stated that the biggest fight for Terence Bud Crawford, whether the fans like it or not, is him versus 4-division world champion Mexican superstar boxer, who is the undisputed super middleweight world champion, Saul Canelo Alvarez, who is widely acknowledged as the face of the sport of boxing. Saul Canelo Alvarez is 60 wins, 2 losses, 2 draws, 39 big wins by way of knockout. He is 33 years of age, 5'8" with a 70-inch arm reach. So you had a fan respond to Terence Crawford and say, well, the people want to see you fight newly crowned IBF welterweight world champion, superstar boxer, the phenom, as I refer to him as, in Jaron Boots Ennis. Jaron Boots Ennis is 31 wins, no losses, no draws, 28 big wins by way of knockout, 26 years of age, 5'10" with a 74-inch arm reach. And Terence Crawford responds to that. He says he has no problem fighting Jaron Boots Ennis. But he says, tell him to cut the check. Tell the people that want to see it and the people that want to make it to cut the check and make it happen. And if they're not going to cut the check to make it happen, then tell them to stop talking about it, right? And so we all know that it's widely speculated that Saul Canelo Alvarez is now interested in fighting Canelo Alvarez in September, which would be September 14th, Mexican Independence Day weekend, right? Now, we know Canelo Alvarez, he typically, historically fights on 2 dates. Cinco de Mayo weekend, which is May 4th this year, and for what is the first weekend in May, but the Saturday falls on May 4th, and Mexican Independence Day weekend, which falls on September 14th this year, for Canelo Alvarez, right? The 14th is a Saturday, and the 4th is a Saturday. And many people are expecting Canelo Alvarez to face off against undefeated 2-division world champion, former unified junior middleweight, now reigning WBC middleweight world champion superstar boxer, Jamal Hitman Lions Only Charlo, who is 33 wins, no losses, no draw. He is 22 big wins by way of knockout, 33 years of age, 6 feet tall with a 74-inch arm reach. He fought, that being Canelo Alvarez, Jamal Charlo's identical twin brother, Jamel Charlo, September 30th, right? Again, he wants to fight around Mexican Independence Day weekend, but he wasn't available. So he fought Jamel Charlo September 30th, okay? And with that said, he dropped him in the 7th round, won a unanimous decision. Terence Crawford had the biggest win of his career, July 29th, Las Vegas, Nevada, T-Mobile Arena, when he took on defeated former unified 3-belt WBA, WBC, IBF welterweight world champion superstar boxer, Earl the Truth Spence Jr. Earl Spence Jr. is now 28 wins, 1 loss, no draws, 22 big wins by way of knockout. He is 33 years of age, 5'9.5" with a 72-inch arm reach. That was a fight that was one of the most biggest anticipated fights in the last decade, and on paper was seen to be a 50-50 fight if there ever were one. But Terence Crawford clearly separated himself in that fight, dropping Earl Spence in the 2nd round, twice in the 7th, then stopped him in the 9th, right? And so it was a dominant one-sided performance in favor of Terence Bud Crawford that solidified him as the #1 pound-for-pound best fighter in the world, because you had 2 undefeated world champions, 2 highly accomplished fighters that were top 5 pound-for-pound best fighters in the world, and Earl Spence and Terence Crawford. And Terence Crawford clearly separated himself. So with that said, Terence Crawford, then the light bulb went off in his head. He wanted to be undisputed in 3 or 4 separate weight classes, and he set his sights on, finally, Canelo Alvarez. Initially, he stated that he'll fight Canelo Alvarez, who fights at 168 now. He'll fight Canelo Alvarez at a catch weight of 160, he said 160 or something of that magnitude, 165, something of that magnitude. And then he realized, he said, you know what? I'll fight Canelo Alvarez at the full 168-pound limit because guess what? Canelo Alvarez is not that big of a guy. We're the same height. I got longer arms than he do. I'm more athletic than he is. He's not a big natural super middleweight or 168 pounder. Now, when it comes to guys like David Benavidez, who is an undefeated two-time WBC super middleweight world champion, Mexican Ecuadorian superstar boxer, the Mexican monster, David Benavidez, he is 6'2" with a 75-inch arm reach and rehydrated to 195 pounds. So he is indeed everything of that monster that people label him to be. And he is 28 wins, no losses, no draw, 24 wins by way of knockout. He lost his belts due to recreational drugs use, and he lost it due to missing weight on the scale during the global pandemic. He didn't lose his belts in the ring. He's very aggressive, has fast hands, high work rate, and he's very durable. And so, no, that's not, a good style matchup for Terence Bud Crawford. So he said that, when he looks at Canelo Alvarez, he feels it's winnable now. Now, you guys know I've been saying that. But, he had a rematch clause. Errol Spence had the right to activate a rematch clause for Terence Crawford to immediately have to rematch him. And Terence Crawford contractually is obligated to fulfill that rematch. And Terence Crawford will automatically get a bigger share of the pie. But Terence Crawford will be able to choose what weight class it in. Well, that has come to a deadline, right? It expired. And so now it's stated that there is no rematch happening, seeing as though Errol Spence had corrective cataract surgery on his eye that he stated hindered his vision going into the Terence Crawford fight. And he didn't have the surgery until January. They fought in July. They was expected to fight in December, but Showtime got out the business of the sport of boxing after 37 years. So with that said, it kept getting pushed back, and now it got pushed all the way back until he got the corrective surgery in January, and it's an 8-week recovery period. That means he wouldn't be able to resume his boxing activities until at least March. Then that means he would need at least 2 months, 8 weeks to have a training camp. That means he wouldn't be ready to fight until June, right? And Terence Crawford is going to be 37 in September. He doesn't want to wait that long. So because that fell through and now look like the rematch is not going to happen, well, all signs are pointing to the possibility of fighting Canelo Alvarez. And many people are speculating maybe he's going to fight Jermell Charlo, who he set his sights on to begin with before Jermell Charlo got the opportunity to go up and fight against Canelo Alvarez. He did to be great, jumped up from 154 to 168, and he came up short big time. He had a lackluster performance. And so people are, asking Terence Crawford, don't pull a Jermell Charlo, right? Don't go up there and fight Canelo Alvarez for a paycheck, to which Terence Crawford responded and said, I'm not Jermell Charlo, okay? I'm not going up there to lay down. I'm going up there to actually win, right? So this is what Terence Crawford had to say. He said, quote, Terence Crawford versus Canelo Alvarez is the biggest fight in boxing right now. Like it or not, it's just the facts. So then somebody responded to him and said, don't sell out for a check. And Terence Crawford responded, never that. I'm not Charlo, right? So he let it be known, I'm not Jermell Charlo. And as far as, the Jerome Boots Ennis situation, he was asked, he said, quote, who you fight next? The people want to see you against Boots next. And Terence Crawford responded, quote, I don't know who I'm fighting yet. Tell the people that want to see it, put the check up. If not, tell them to stop talking about it, right? So I told you guys before, last week, I told you guys that, Terence Crawford, he stated that, if they put the money up and, Premier Boxing Champion, founder and advisor Al Heyman and the PBC, better known as the PBC, put the money up, then he'll make the fight happen, right? And now Showtime president of sports, Steven Espinosa, is involved after losing his job with Showtime. Now he's involved with the PBC and their new partnership and deal. They have a distribution deal with Amazon and Amazon Prime. But Steven Espinosa is saying there is a budget that they are going to give to the PBC, right? Jerome Boots Ennis was not signed to the PBC. He was signed exclusively to Showtime and Steven Espinosa. He was affiliated with the PBC and showcase his talents on the PBC card promoted by Tom Brown, TGB Promotions. And so now Steven Espinosa, as you can see, did interviews this past weekend at the press conference for the March 30th kickoff show. And Steven Espinosa said he's still involved, right? So that's, let you know Jerron Boots Ennis is still over there. So that would mean that they would have to put up the check for the fight, and then Terence Bud Crawford would take it. I personally think right now, again, like I said, I think that the biggest fight in boxing, the most talked about fight in boxing right now is Devin Haney versus Gervonta Tank Davis. But that's only rivaled by Canelo Alvarez and Terence Crawford, or Canelo Alvarez and David Benavidez. So I think those are the biggest fights in boxing. But I would love to see Jerron Boots Ennis first off against Terence Bud Crawford. So let's see how this unfolds and plays out, man. But that's all I got for y'all. Make sure you hit the like button. Drop a comment in the comment section. Let me know what y'all think. Y'all already know what it is. It's your boy Blue Blood Sports TV. Hate, like, comment, and subscribe. You haven't subscribed, hit the subscribe button, hit the like button, hit the bell icon to get all the new notifications. Follow me on Instagram at Blue Blood Sports TV, all one word. That's all I got for y'all. I'm gone. Peace.